to read about the latest news from Greece, United States, and our community on newgreektv.com. Offered in English and Greek language, read about politics, the economy, and upcoming events.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to New Greek TV News, English edition.
Enjoy our feature articles on travel, fashion, and health.
Thank you for having me. Good morning.
Well, we want to hear everything about your background. Tell us a little bit about you.
Watch New Greek TV productions anywhere, anytime on our web TV.
Από την εκπομπή, εμείς πάνω σε αυτό στα προβλήματα που αντιμετωπίζουμε.
Το 35%
Και αυτό που έχει κάνει αυτή η ταινία.
newgreektv.com. Our heritage, our community, our channel.
On the island of Antiparos, at the heart of the Aegean, Gaia produced an exquisite organic olive oil in limited edition, which traveled all the way to the US. The sales of Antiparos olive oil will finance 10 new and innovative Greek companies to grow. Buy today your bottle in reinspiregreece.com and support the Greek youth to move forward.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to New Greek TV News, English edition. An 18-year-old student from the 10th General High School of Larissa in central Greece received the gold medal at the National Mathematical Olympiad, Archimedes. Dimitris Aletras has been a champion for 3 consecutive years, as he has received bronze and silver medals the past 2 years and gold medal this year. Now he's looking forward to the challenge of the Balkan Mathematical Olympiad in May that will take place in Bulgaria, and the International Mathematical Olympiad in July at Cape Town, South Africa. About 370 high school students from all over Greece took part in this year's National Mathematical Olympiad. The students were selected after 2 national competitions, Thalis in October 19, 2013, and Euclid in January 18, 2014. These mathematical competitions have been firmly established. The large participation of Greek students proved that their interest in the science of mathematics and that Greece has a bright future in math, since math requires no costly experiments and hardly any infrastructure other than brains. The Greek Parliament will need by May to approve dozens of measures to make its economy more competitive as condition for receiving further funding from the Troika, with which it resumed bailout talks on Monday. Most of the measures are spelled out in a 324-page report submitted to Greek authorities in November by the OECD. The 329 proposals generally aim to remove barriers and soften regulations in a string of markets, from building materials and food to publishing and tourism, saving consumers and businesses about 5.2 billion euros a year, or 2.5% of Greek GDP. Athens has pledged to implement about 80% of the proposals, but trade associations and lawmakers have protested, arguing they would lead to total deregulation and a collapse in the quality of products and services. Now, here are some of the key proposals. Allow the blending of olive oils, a trademark national product, with other vegetable oils and allow its distribution to hotels and restaurants in packages bigger than 5 liters. Remove all third-party levies and fees, such as a tax on advertising and levies on flour and cement. Fully liberalize Sunday trading. Allow retailers to decide freely on discounts and timing of sales. Lift a 5-day restriction on the shelf life of milk. Liberalize prices and distribution of over-the-counter medicines and dietary supplements, as well as vitamins. Scrap barriers to investment in tourism enterprises, the country's biggest foreign currency earner, such as geographical restrictions or minimal quality requirements. Remove limits on tourist coach activities and restrictions on travel agent offices. Abolish any requirement for tourism businesses to seek prior price approval from authorities. Relax regulation of cruises by lifting a round-trip restriction on cruises leaving a Greek port. This would allow passengers to embark the cruise at a Greek port and disembark at another country. Lift a 5-mile restriction on moorings, which would allow marina and yacht operators to compete with nearby commercial or fishing ports on price. Abolish strict licensing requirements in the asphalt sector and abolish minimum requirements for storage or minimum capital requirements in the building materials sector. On Wednesday, the meeting between the auditors and the Bank of Greece governor, Yannis Provopoulos, ended in total disagreement about the recapitalization of Greek banks. The two sides are sticking to their guns, with the governor saying the need is for 5.5 to 6 billion euros, and the Troika representatives insisting it's closer to 20 billion. The disagreement comes from two different reports. The BlackRock study, saying the deficit is at 5.5 billion, is the one the Bank of Greece gives credit to. The auditors, on the other hand, are closer to the recent Financial Times report, which estimates the need for recapitalization at 20 billion. The two sides will be meeting again soon after a potential interim meeting between technical echelons of the Bank of Greece. After this development, the stress test results of the major Greek banks, which were supposed to circulate this week, will be delayed until the end of next week. This was the first official hiccup in these crucial negotiations, expected to last at least another month. There will be lots of disagreements in the process, but government officials are optimistic they'll have an agreement on all issues before the next Eurogroup meeting next month. Justice Minister Charalambos Athanasiou introduced a new bill which institutes heavy sentences for public and private sector corruption cases. It's called the Bill for Fighting Corruption and Public Interest Witness Protection, and regulates penalties for corruption while offering better treatment and special protection for those assisting in corruption investigations. Concerning corruption convictions, penalties are much stricter, with up to 10-year sentences for embezzlement of even less than 120,000 euros. These sentences stand for both public sector and private sector fraud. As for those assisting investigations, the bill says they'll be named public interest witnesses. For the first time in a bill, politicians of all rank could serve as many as 20 years and pay a fine as high as 150,000 euros if convicted for fraud while serving their duties. Convicted parties will have their properties confiscated and their political rights stripped, while those accused who turn witnesses get their sentences reduced if they reveal essential evidence to the prosecution. The bill even penalizes influence over fraud deals by parties acting as intermediaries. Anyone convicted of benefiting in exchange for unfair influence on a public official, politician, or employee will be sentenced to up to 5 years and fined up to 50,000 euros. The bill is set forth for public debate, which means it should be put to vote within the next couple of months. In a meeting on Tuesday, the Movement of 58 studied Socialist PASOK party leader Evangelos Venizelos' proposals for a common Euro-parliamentary election ticket, and they flatly rejected it. With polls showing the formerly mighty PASOK party crumbling in low single digits, a coalition with center-left personalities was perhaps the only option. It wasn't meant to be, however. The Movement of 58, an impromptu alliance of former center-left pundits and talking heads, started the initiative a few months ago in an attempt to unite the fragmented political milieu. But the proposals set up by PASOK were too patronizing to be tolerated. So after their meeting, representative of the 58, Yannis Voulgaris, called Mr. Venizelos and told him that the Olive Tree Coalition was a no-go, at least until the upcoming local and European elections. The meeting was programmed to discuss two burning issues: the title of the new coalition and the way the ballot would be formed. According to sources close to the meeting, the main reason for the breakup was PASOK's insistence that prominent party chiefs be coalition candidates without the consent of the 58. This means the two parties will go their separate ways. PASOK will keep up their effort to create a wide center-left coalition with other personalities with dubious effect, while the 58, or at least some of them, will try to rekindle the effort after elections are over. It's been 8 months since the sudden and shocking decision by the Prime Minister to shut down public broadcaster ERT, and the controversy is still alive and well. On Wednesday, the Council of State delivered the positive ruling on the constitutionality of the closure. The ruling came after litigation by the former ERT employees asking for the court to rule the shutdown unconstitutional and contrary to European law. Their move backfired, though. According to information from the proceedings, the majority decision taken was really close. Prime Minister Adonis Samaras made the shocking decision last June amidst widespread unrest and months-long demonstrations in front of ERT offices in Agia Paraskevi. His reasoning was that this was the only way for the overspending of public funds to stop. Since then, a new transitional public television channel has been transmitting minimally in anticipation of the brand new public media center called Nerit, which should be ready by late spring or early summer. All this time, sponsoring obligations and other loose ends of the old earth have been haunting state officials. The ruling has yet to be officially posted, but it looks like the judges ruled that since there was an interim public carrier in a short time since the earth shutdown, it's legal. Furthermore, judges ruled that Article 15 of the Greek Constitution, which mentions TV and radio guidelines, does not impose an obligation on the state for establishing a state television station. The films that helped the famous Greek actress and singer Melina Mercouri earn an international reputation will be screened by the Greek Film Archive Foundation from 6th of March to the 12th of March. During the event, the Greek Film Archive will screen Melina's movies from the 1960s, such as Never on Sunday, Fedra in 1962, and some lesser-known films of hers, such as Galley Galley and Rehearsal. For the film Never on Sunday, Melina Mercouri was awarded the Best Actress Award at the 1960 Cannes Film Festival and was nominated for Best Actress in a leading role from the Academy and the BAFTA Awards. The events will be held to honor the memory of Melina Mercouri as 20 years passed since her death. Among the films that will be projected in Melina Mercouri's tribute are The Who Must Die by Jean Desen, The Victors by Carl Hoffman, and Los Pianos Mecánicos by Juan Antonio Bardem. The film Los Pianos Mecánicos will inaugurate the event. The event will take place from March 6th to March 12th under the auspices of the President of the European Parliament, Martin Schulz, in cooperation with the French Institute of Athens, the Spanish Embassy, the Melina Mercouri Foundation, the Tourism Ministry, the Greek National Tourism Organization, EOT, the U.S. Embassy, and other organizations. The opening ceremony will be organized jointly with the Spanish Embassy. Besides the projection of films, the event will also include 2 discussions regarding Melina Mercouri's tenure at the Ministry of Culture. These discussions will take place at the Greek Film Archive. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being with us for this English edition news. Tune in next week. This was Themis Iliopoulos for New Greek TV.
On the island of Antiparos, at the heart of the Aegean, Gaia produced an exquisite organic olive oil in limited edition, which traveled all the way to the US. The sales of Antiparos olive oil will finance 10 new and innovative Greek companies to grow. Buy today your bottle in reinspiregreece.com and support the Greek youth to move forward.
Daily to read about the latest news from Greece, United States, and our community on newgreektv.com. Offered in English and Greek language, read about politics, the economy, and upcoming events.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to New Greek TV News, English edition.
Enjoy our feature articles on travel, fashion, and health.
Thank you for having me. Good morning.
Well, we want to hear everything about your background. Tell us a little bit about you.
Watch New Greek TV productions anywhere, anytime on our web TV.
Από την εκπομπή
Καλύτερο
Εμείς
πιστεύω.
πάνω σε αυτό
Είναι
το
Χριστόφορος.
στα προβλήματα που
Είναι η
αντιμετωπίζουμε.
Ελλάδα.
το 35%
Και
του
αυτό που έχει κάνει αυτή η ταινία
newgreektv.com. Our heritage, our community, our channel.